Woo!
Wow. 7.
Lucky number 7. Yes,
Yeah.
100%. Hello, everybody.
Yes, my voice. I am good. Good to be back. Of course I do, but I won't not yet though. That makes that's it makes the podcast. That's all.
And whoa! Sorry, can I just do the intro one more time? Do
Yeah, yeah.
apologise. Right, sorry. Do apologise for anyone who's just joined me. I was muted for about 5 seconds. No, it's probably about
Oh,
2
no,
minutes. Well done. I
that's
know,
okay.
epic. Right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bits and Pieces podcast. It's episode 7. 3D show. Pizza Beth. Pizza Beth's not got a cam. Yeah, there we go. Muted.
There we go.
Hello.
Awesome. Hello.
Oh,
Intro.
Oh,
I
what's
just
so
I
sad?
looked down at my stream deck. I was like, no, could be worse.
It's
Could be worse.
okay.
Does anyone remember? No, they don't remember. Probably didn't even watch it. Right. So yeah, I'm going to be talking. I've got a spotlight. I'm going to be talking about, and then later on, we're going to be ripping the crap out of the gaming awards, which are coming up in a couple of weeks. In about a week's time, I think it is.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Exactly.
apologies, professional as always, but we do
Yes.
gloss over that. So yeah.
Yeah.
So who would start first on the spotlight this week?
Me.
Yes.
Me. Let me go. I've got yes. I'm going to be talking about a game that's only not been out too long. Inscription. You've probably seen it, heard it. The card game horror. I say horror in quotation brackets. Um, Sort of like roguelike card game that was, for all accounts and purposes, has taken the indie scene by storm and is actually up for some nominations in the game of the year, not game of the year, but in the game awards, which is fine because most people like it. I am one of these few that don't, and let me explain why. Now, obviously, with any card builder, the game starts off. You're trapped in a room, um, and you've got this weird looking demon thing sitting at a table, and it's like, another challenger, and he gives you some cards, and basically it implies that the cards are real because you have to sacrifice them, and when you sacrifice them, blood spurts out of the cards, and it implies that you are captured by this demon tree, and you are to play a game of cards to escape or try and escape his grasp, and failure to do so results in him turning you into a card. And every time you fail, you get turned into a death card, and then the cycle repeats. Now, that sounds like a cool game, doesn't it? That sounds like a pretty good game. And then
Yeah.
you can actually get off the table and you can look around the escape room because it
Ooh.
is an escape room, and you can fiddle about with some mechanics, and you can find some hidden stuff. And then it all alludes to some cards actually talking to you and saying, "Well, we got to get out of here. We're stuck in here. Thank God you're here. Yeah, we'll try and help you as best we can." And every time they interact with you, the bad guy tells them to shut up, or he's going to rip them up or kill them. So they can only speak to you sparingly throughout the sort of the first part of the game. Now, this first part of the game is incredible. It's what hooked me to the game. I was so hooked that I sat there and played it for hours and hours and hours trying to get like past this guy because he was really hard. He turns into other bosses as well. So he plays like all the characters in this little path that your character sort of runs down, the sort of wooden character you use, effigy, and you have various branching paths, various things that will happen. You'll have good events, bad events, like getting getting more cards, getting boons on your cards, like making them more powerful, and you have the opportunity to sacrifice 2 cards to merge them together, to make a monster card, so that you can have some absurd cards that are just one shot everything. And it's a really good mechanic system. I was really I could go into depth, but for the sake of time, I won't. But it's got a very good fleshed out card system. Now, it's really good up until you beat this boss. I'm not going to go too much into spoilers, but for me personally, I was so into it. When I finally beat this guy, I was like, yeah, because it's actually really hard. Um, and when I beat him, the game then decides to completely change.
So
It, it,
it's
it
so bizarre. It's like, yeah, it's crazy.
it goes from a 3D horror based card game roguelike to a 2D Pokemon card collecting game with
What?
inferior card mechanics, and it's like this open map where you just run around as a little 2D guy. And before that, there's a bunch of videos of this bloke who's a card collector who's collected real life inscription cards, and he's opening these packs. It's very convoluted storyline. It's very like, what is going on? It doesn't make any sense to me. I know people have made sense of it, and there's loads of people who loved it. But to me personally, I was like, where's this come from? I'm playing an ARG now. What's happening? It completely confused me, as it's trying to tie in a card game to a real life uh, card card collector to a floppy disk called Inscription. Now it's about the floppy disk Inscription, the game. But you don't find that out until later on, much later on. So at this point in time, I'm like, what's going on? What am I playing here? So I quit the game when I got to this 8. It's in 8-bit as well, so it's very annoying to listen to. The same sounds over and over again. I know what they're getting for the 8-bit aesthetic. Loads of people love it. They like the old school style. For me personally, I don't. I try to stay away from 8-bit games. Now, some 8-bit games done well. A good example of this is Echo Generation. That's an 8-bit game, but it's also 3D. It's also fairly modernized, so you don't feel like you're playing an old game that doesn't make sense. This game comes out of nowhere. It completely shafts what's happening, and the worst thing is you've got to collect all your cards again. So it resets your entire deck. So you spent all this time collecting these cards, getting used to these mechanics, and then it completely throws a U-turn and completely disregards everything you've done up to that point. And then you've got to do the same battle, but in a 2D environment with an inferior deck. So it's like forced difficulty. So
Does it only change one time, or
no,
does it?
it
Oh,
changes again.
oh, it changes
Once
again.
you get past the 2D bit, it goes back to a variation of what you played at the first chapter. So the
Oh,
first chapter is the best part of the game. That's the game that the game is sold on, the game is advertised as, and a lot of big YouTubers have actually dropped the game because of what it transitions to after the first boss, after the card dude at the start, because it is a complete like culture shock to the player. So it doesn't make sense why you all of a sudden you've got ARG videos and then you've got an 8-bit game. But you get to the end of the game, and spoilers a little bit here. You get to the end of the game, and you go through an inferior version of chapter 1, and if you can manage to get through that, the game then ends. Just abruptly ends. I can kind of imagine what happens to the guy, the card collector, when I say the game abruptly ends without giving too much away, and then that's it. So you spend all this time getting to know the mechanics, the story, figuring out what's going on in the game, and there's no sequel.
interesting.
So
Whoa.
it's that was what really put the nail in the coffin for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much. A big part of it is switching to an 8-bit game. It's like 2 games mashed together.
Yeah.
Within the first game, then added on again at the end to try and sort of bolster up the gameplay, because the 8-bit section is terrible, and it's probably one of the worst parts of the game. And I really, what I'm like. If I don't like it, I won't play it. Because this was 17 quid. I sort of bite my teeth a little bit paying 17 quid for an 8-bit 2D game. I tried to get a refund on Steam, and they were like, "No, you've played too many hours into it. Can't have a refund." So I thought, well, I might as well just finish it then.
Yeah.
And yeah, although it's got high accolades. People love it. They absolutely adore it. Sorry, and I just can't fathom for the life of me why it was sold as a horror roguelike card RPG game, and what we got was an ARG 8-bit with card mechanics and a 3D engine thrown in for about 4 hours of the game.
Yeah.
So to me, it's misleading. It's not truthful. Yes, I get what they're trying to do, but the terrible ending and the terrible middle part of the game just completely just seal the deal for me. It is definitely not worth buying, and in my opinion, it's one of the most misleading titles on the market. And I don't think it should be allowed. I think it's borderline fraud, if you ask me. Because the fact that it's sold as this one chapter. I know that the rest of the game is supposed to be hidden, it's supposed to be a shock, etc. But the fact that it was sold as a card horror game, escape room
Yeah.
type game, and then you get this complete abomination, sort of shoved into it. I just don't get it.
Even though you recommend against it, and I see your points and everything, but I am still super curious to play the first bit of the game, even though, you know, it seems like an interesting game to at least try.
The
But
Yeah,
first
maybe
part of the game was amazing.
yeah,
yeah,
And
maybe wait for a sale before
I
you
would
get
wait
it,
for a sale. Yeah,
or
from what
understand.
I've read. Sorry,
Yeah.
Beth, just to
Oh no.
interrupt. Really. From what I gather and what I've read, they're going to be releasing the first part of the game as a standalone DLC. So the guy who's
Yeah.
made the game himself is aware that people just want to play this game.
Yeah.
So
Well,
he's I don't know when it's coming out, but it's rumored to be coming out
that
at
when I
some
saw
point.
the game, that's the first part of the game is only
yeah,
all I saw, and I think people were like, "I'm gonna buy that and expect
yeah.
that," but you
Yeah,
don't.
I think I was one as well. Having played
Yes.
like something like Hand of Fate, which is a
yeah,
similar
great
sort
game.
of
Yeah, so very similar. Yeah,
very similar
Yeah.
Slay the
sort of
So
Slay the Spire
yeah,
is
Slay
yeah,
the
another
Slay the
one.
Spire. Yeah,
Spire.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, there's
Yes,
there's a
I
few out
one
there.
of my favorite card games.
Loop
yes
Hero, I think as well was another one. I think even
Mhm,
we both played that actually. Freely,
mhm.
I think we both
Loop
had
Hero
that.
is great. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Hard, great.
looking at those sort of games and then seeing this, this kind of appealed to me a little bit. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I'm
really like the horror
disappointed to
element.
hear what has happened to it because
Yeah.
it had such a great like Beth said, that first part of the game looks really interesting and kind of intriguing as well. It's like for me, that's what I saw. It's like it's interesting that they seem to have done basically two games and mashed them together and it just doesn't work.
No,
Yeah,
no.
It's
maybe if they said like, because did they? What's the trailer look like for this game? Is it
There is no mention of the ARG or the 8-bit section
ah?
whatsoever.
the
It's
Because
completely hidden from the player.
I know that in the ARG culture, you don't
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't mention it, and I get that. But when you're selling a game, I think you should maybe just like,
yeah.
oh, there's some hidden secrets in there, and
It
like,
should at least mention that there's ARG content. They don't have
yeah,
to elaborate on that, but at least let the buyer know what they're getting. For the most part, you think you're getting a roguelike card game with excellent mechanics and and a unique setting. you you get that for about 3 hours, 4 hours, depending on how good you are at card games, and then that's it. The last 4 hours of the game is banging your head against a brick wall trying to force yourself through it.
I have
Um,
one more question about it.
yes,
Um, so in the 8-bit
yeah,
part of the game, do you still play the cards, or is it
yes.
completely different?
You play the cards, but
Oh, you still do cards.
they're slightly different, and
Okay,
you have to run around the map finding boxes on
right.
most of the cards they give you, and the system is so bad that unlike the first part, for instance, right, for example,
Yeah,
very quickly,
yeah,
in a match I was fighting against one of the main bosses, right?
right.
I've got in my deck 7 squirrels, and the rest of the cards are used based on the squirrels because you have to sacrifice the squirrels to play your hands, right? I just kept getting squirrel after squirrel after squirrel with no useful cards whatsoever, and this happened 4 times in a row. And it's supposed to be randomized. You're not supposed to like get the same hand all the time. And for 4 games running, I just got nothing but squirrels, so I couldn't do anything. I would play the deck and I just get killed.
Yeah.
So I spent an hour just doing nothing, and I was just like, "Is this a bug? Is this supposed to happen?" But no, it's just because it's the RNG nature of the deck. So the computer will just in the 8-bit mode, it felt a lot worse, like a lot less polished than the first part of the game, because that didn't happen in the first part of the game because you could draw the card, so you could click on it and it gets into your hand. This one is all automatic, so you don't get to click on anything. So you don't get to click on the cards that are action, and you don't get to click on the cards that are sacrificial. So you're just given random cards. The mechanics are just dumbed down even further and broken, and just
Okay.
I'll shut up now. So I'll just keep
that's-
going on and on and on.
It's interesting though that what you said, and definitely, like you said, the warning there is basically don't pay full price for it.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah,
at the moment,
wait.
do not pay full price for this. Get it in
Wait
get it
for
in a sale.
sale.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
Cyber Monday or something like today.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it begs the question: like, do you still take chances on games now based on trailers, or do you wait? You know, what I should have done was wait for a complete playthrough on someone and watched one like I usually do, and go, "Oh, I like the look of that. I'll go and buy that."
Well, you can't really
But
trust it anymore.
but when I
'Cause-
watched the playthrough, it was just that section. So it was like, well, that's the game, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I bought it. So I was very disheartened. You see, I asked my other half. She heard me ranting and raving about it when I turned it off.
Yeah. Well, thanks for letting us know.
Yes, thanks for that.
Buyer
Well,
beware, Inscription.
Inscription. Be very aware of that.
Yeah.
No, good start. I would say good start to the game. So yeah, ready to go into the next
Yeah.
not topic, but next game.
Next
So
game.
this would be my spotlight then this week. It's a game that came out a few years ago. I seem to go back a few years on these games when we talk about them, but that's okay. You know, I think that's something we should do, is always remind people what games used to be like compared to today's ones. And this is one of those great exceptions, I think, where it's a great visually stunning game, considering it's 2016. It's not that long ago, but it's long enough that games have developed along the way, and graphically they may have got better. This one I still think holds up today. It is The Last Guardian. If anyone remembers it, if you don't, I'll run through it briefly anyway. It is developed by Japan Studios and Gen Design, published of course by Sony Interactive, which means it made it to a PlayStation exclusive, which I feel kind of bad for in a way, because I think it should have been available to everybody. It's one of those beautiful games. It came out on the back end of Shadow of the Colossus and is it Ico or Ico? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like I said, visually stunning, and given its time, you know, it's not that old. Again, it's not that old, but it's PlayStation 4. It came out, I think it was developed. They started development in 2007, so it's like 9 years on or something. But this is great game, great setup. You basically start off as a child, as a little boy, and you're inside this cave underneath this massive castle, and it's in a very weird sort of settings, and the castle seems quite high up. You seem to be quite high in the clouds, but you wake up and you're face to face with this strange creature. It's kind of a half mammal, half bird creature who we discover that it goes by the name of Trico. And I mean, as a full-grown man playing this game, if you don't get to the end of the game and are brought to tears by this, you don't have a heart. I feel like the connection, the bond between the boy and Trico was such a lovely sort of connection. It was such a nice game. There's no real sort of violence. There is some combat, but it's not anything that's going to make you go, oh no, that's kind of too gross. There's no sort of bloodshed or anything like that. It's just a gentle sort of like way of attacking, because there are some enemies in it, but it's basically sort of, I would say, pretty much a semi-open world sort of game.
Is it like a walking simulator?
Yeah, it does have a little bit of that to it. Like there is a combat system to it. Like you'll wake up in this cave, and Trico like I said, he's a massive creature. He has sort of what looks like wings on the side of him. He has a bit of a cat-like or mouse-like face. He has like some fur and also covered in feathers. So it's a very strange looking creature. But it's like you get around the world by solving puzzles. So you'll work together. Trico comes into play when you discover a magic mirror, and you'll use the mirror, and Trico has, like, on the end of his tail, it looks like he's been cut. Actually, his tail looks like it's been cut a little bit. And his tail, he brings out like electricity from his tail. He also looks like he has horns that look like it's been cut off. I would say Trico looks big, but I would say he's probably quite young in his own species. It looks like he's a playful sort of chap, you know, when you meet him. And it's very, like, he doesn't quite understand the world, but you sort of bond. You create this bond, and it's really beautiful.
It looks really...
It's actually very stunning. Like, the visuals are very stunning. The music's, again, it's great music to it, great sort of score to it. The sound design is really good. Like I said, you are captured. You free. You know the story of like the mouse and the lion's got a thorn in its paw, and the mouse says, "I'll help you if you help me," kind of thing. Don't eat me and I'll help you. And that's kind of like how I feel like this story sort of first starts, because as the boy goes over to Trico, he sets it, because Trico's is injured. He's got like spears in the side of him, so you pull those out. That's kind of a learning thing, where you're learning to pull out spears. He's also captured by a chain, so you'll try to release him. There's a flashback which is told by an older man. I think that's the boy in the future. So like he's telling the story of how he met Trico. And you never really know the boy's name, which is I don't think it's ever discovered. But again, you awaken in a ruined castle in a deep valley, and it's an enormous, then you wake up, you see this enormous cat-like creature. Is wounded. You help him out, and then you have this adventure. You basically go on this massive adventure where you have to solve puzzles. As the game progresses, Trico's starts to develop, or starts to discover that he has powers. Some powers come from his tail, as I said, and some come from his horns. I think they start to grow. You're basically there's like elements of like Lara Croft, where you're running across massive pillars quite high up, jumping across, and then you do this sort of like Lara Croft kind of thing where you have to jump, climb. You'd also have to try and push boxes out the way to get through. There are going to be at times there's going to be just you as the boy doing it, and then there's other times when you're going to need Trico's help to help push things out the way. I really enjoyed this game when it first came out. I think there was a lot of people that actually, like me, just fell in love with the connection between the boy and the beast, as it were. It's just a marvelous sort of game to look at. I'm not sure if I'm going to put up some cool visuals, but yeah, it looks I'm going to run the trailer now, but it looks really good.
I've got the trailer playing on mine.
Yeah. It's just such a lovely. I did this as a let's play back in the day when it first came out, when I had time to make videos on my dead channel, my dead YouTube channel. But yeah, you'll just get a glimpse now of like. From my perspective, at least, you'll get the boy finds a shield. There's a mirror, I guess. But it's just I don't want to give too much away from it. But then it's 2016, so if you haven't played it, I'm sorry, but there's basically, I think you just get taken from your village, and you just got to try and go through the whole world with this bond that you've created. There's moments in it where it's very heartwarming and very heartbreaking, and you don't understand. If you got to, I think there's chapters throughout the game as well, so you'll get to every chapter. You get to the end of a chapter and you're like, oh, what's happened? What is Trico okay? And you actually feel very emotionally attached to both the boy and the creature Trico. It's a lovely, visually stunning, and very sound aesthetics is wonderful. I'm watching this trailer now, and it's bringing back so many memories.
It's awesome.
It's actually amazing graphically. Like I said, it came out in 2016. Yeah, occasionally you have to feed him as well. I forgot to mention, but now I've just been reminded. But yeah, you'll feed him again. He likes to eat barrels. I think maybe there's something inside him. I think along the way you do kind of meet some of Trico's kind, so it might be the home world of Trico. I think that's what it is. But yeah, again, as I said, that is just a trailer from back then, back in the day. But
Awesome.
I absolutely loved it. I think I've watched, what's his name? Jacksepticeye. I think I watched him. Yeah, is that his name?
Yeah, Jacksepticeye.
Jacksepticeye, yeah.
Is he the Irish one?
That's the Irish guy, yeah. I think I watched his Let's Play, but I didn't want to watch it all because I wanted to play it and I wanted to discover myself. But yeah. So if anyone who knows that guy, you'll know who I'm talking about. Very enthusiastic. I mean, there's probably a lot more, probably too enthusiastic. It's like a 12-year-old on on Valium or something. It's just like he's mad. He's a bit crazy, but yeah. I really enjoyed it. I just wanted to talk about that game. It's like I said, it was only available on PlayStation. I'm not sure if you can still get it. I'm sure you can. I don't know if there's ever a chance for it ever coming forward to the PC. Again, it's a Sony. I don't see them doing that. I can't see why they would do it. Sony won't bring anything forward. Maybe for the PlayStation 5. I don't know, but I hope they. I hope they don't. In many ways, it should stay where it was. And like again, I'd love to go back to it. I've still got my PlayStation 4 somewhere. Brush off the old dust and go back to it and play it. And if you've played Shadow of the Colossus, you'll know the kind of game I'm talking about. It's a beautiful game. That's a game. I can't really add nothing else to it because it's one of those games I'm glad I played, and I'm glad I went through it, and I'm glad I've had those emotions going through towards the end. Like I said, I think you've got a heart of stone if you can't cry about it. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and there's my highlight of the week.
Awesome.
It is actually on the PlayStation Plus.
It is
in the top 20 games you get for free when you get a PS5. So when you get your PS5,
Awesome.
you can claim 20 PS4.
Do it.
Titles. So you get
it now.
included with your PS5.
Yeah.
So if you haven't played it, you can play it that way. I personally have never played it. Unfortunately, I never played Shadow of the Colossus either. There's two games I have never touched. Probably like last week when it was Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, this is my redemption.
Yeah. No, it's just my hold my hands up and said I've never played them. I've always known of them, but I've just never got around to playing them. So maybe one day next year I'll I'll play through both of them. So I actually do have both of them on my PlayStation account.
Yeah,
I just haven't played them yet.
I,
So something to do.
as I said, I think you will enjoy it. It's not too much of a difficult game as well, and I think, not to say that makes any difference. Like, if it's like the difficulty only develops over time, but by then you kind of get used to the game's mechanics anyway. I feel, it's not as difficult, I would say, as the Dark Souls sort of games where it's just one difficulty throughout. I think the mechanics of the game teach you anyway. So some of the mechanics of the puzzles can be a little bit annoying. I mean, I'm grateful that I made it as a let's play. Let's put it that way. So at least I can cut out the rage quit elements. But that's just me. Like, I'm so annoyed with myself. But it's one of those games that once you progress on, you can't go back unless you restart the whole thing. So it's kind of so if you imagine I'm doing a let's play and I've cut it off at a certain point because I don't have time or anything, and if I did actually have to do it a couple of times. It was a puzzle that got me caught up. I had to replay, and then there was also from the Elgato, I think I had a corrupt file, so I had to replay a section again. It was like, oh no, I've got a corrupt file, I couldn't upload it. But if you want to go and check out my rubbish YouTube, that's dead. I did have the whole series there, and like my reactions are genuine. I say that because I'd already mentioned Jacksepticeye having reactions, but I didn't want to watch any of his stuff because I knew he played it. But yeah, my reactions are genuine for me in my own personal way of playing it, and everyone's going to have a different experience, I'm sure. But yeah, The Last Guardian, 2016, awesome. But PlayStation exclusive, and I just wish that sometimes those weren't an exclusive to PlayStation. I'd like other people to have experienced them sort of games. But there you go. What can you do? I don't have the money to actually buy the rights. So if I did, I would.
Game exclusivity, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I get why they do it, because they try to push their sales along with their own console.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's a business at the end of the day. You can't fault them for that, but it's a little bit annoying at times. Yeah. But yeah, there we go. That is my spotlight of this week.
Awesome. Okay. I don't have a spotlight this week, but we're going to roast the Game Awards.
Yeah, we're going to roast the Game Award nominees 100%.
We are indeed. So let's bring that up. Oh my God. Right. Okay.
Hang on. Why is it not loading up? The website's saying nope.
Right.
It's not letting me do it.
I don't know if I can actually make that look bigger, but yeah, whatever. Right. Okay, I've got it up. I'm going to go. So yes. So it goes live on the 9th of December. You'll be able to watch that probably on Twitch or YouTube, or wherever you find your streaming services from nowadays. But yeah, this I decided I thought it'd be an interesting topic to talk about. And I went through some of the categories, and I'm going to be honest, my God, you're in for a surprise. Right, here we go. So the nominees. Let's go into the nominees.
Are we going to start with number one and work our way through it?
We can work our way through it and then skip through some of the...
Get through some of it. So, who wants to start?
View categories. There we go. So...
I've got Game of the Year loaded up.
Game of the Year is what we're going to load up first. So Game of the Year. I don't make sure that's in frame. If not, I can always bring it up on the big screen. So Game of the Year. This is the first.
I heard about this.
All right.
Yeah, just go for it.
Okay, so there's two in Game of the Year that I can see being my favorite. Well, my choice if I was to choose. But we'll let everyone else.
There that I like.
Yeah, there's only one that I probably like, but I can see why one of them might win.
There's only one there that remotely deserves to be maybe in the top 10 category, not the top category.
Should we list them? Yeah. Should we list them just in case anyone's listening and not necessarily watching? So the So we going from left to right. Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
We got Psychonauts 2,
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and then Resident Evil Village. Those are your nominations for this year's Game of the Year.
There's only one I agree with in that whole list.
Which would be
Village.
Village, of course.
Yes.
I think there's only. I
loved Village.
think that's universal.
Out of those 5 games, that is the best one, but it is not Game of the Year. Not even close.
No, like there's loads.
There's
Yeah,
loads that should have been in there, but are not. You're going to discover as we go along, a lot of these get repeated, and it's like they've run out of ideas, or they just couldn't see anything, or maybe because of the COVID, there was not enough games being released this year, which maybe, I don't know, that could be a reason.
Might have a reason.
That might have been the reason why there's not enough choices.
Or the people that sponsor it and fund it. Or
is funding.
You're not allowed to include any remakes or remasters.
Yeah.
That could be a stipulation they have. But why Final Fantasy 7 is not in this list? And Guardians of the Galaxy.
Like when was Spider-Man? Like there was a second Spider-Man.
Miles Morales.
That was received quite well.
Yeah, that was last year, I think.
Oh, last year. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's why it was last year.
Together.
Yeah. So yeah, what do we think would win? Who do we think would win? Sorry.
Well,
out of that list, Deathloop
will probably win.
If Deathloop wins, I will eat my feet.
But we gotta think about.
That isn't that a PlayStation exclusive, or was that? No, I think it was on
consoles.
Steam as well. Yeah.
If I had to pick out of
Ratchet and Clank,
I think it'd be Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart out of them 5, because that one is the only one that actually is at a technological point of view and a storytelling point of view. It does something different compared to the rest of them.
Yeah, I do think Resident Evil Village or Ratchet and Clank will win. Just because Village was really well received and a lot of people love that game, and Ratchet and Clank, I heard good things about it and people enjoyed it. So I think one of those two will win.
I think Ratchet and Clank. I think the reason I would say that is because Resident Evil came out at the start of the year and people's memories are not as good. And I think based on that, like I think so did It Takes Two, that came out at the start of the year. So many people would go with what they can remember as well. So like Deathloop came out just recently, Ratchet and Clank came out just recently. I think Metroid Dread did as well. So that's possible as well. But where Resident Evil might lose out is because of people's memories, and they go, "Oh, I can't remember. Was that last year?" So they might forget that. So.
True.
It Takes Two is a really good game, but I don't think it's Game of the Year material.
Oh no, I think.
But it is, from what it sets out to do compared to this group of 5. That is actually a unique experience compared to Deathloop, Resident Evil Village, which is your standard first-person shooter with a bit of story, and repeatable mechanics for the most part.
But everyone liked the booty because of Lady Dimitrescu.
But once they found out Lady Dimitrescu wasn't in the game for most of it, a lot of people got annoyed and fed up with it, and actually said, "Oh, it's a misleading." Again, going back to what I was saying about Inscription as a misleading game.
Yeah,
we thought Lady Dimitrescu was going to be the big bad, and it turns out she's the big bad for the first 2 hours, and then that's it.
Gone.
Waste of characters. And her daughter's a whole waste of talent. That should have been a lot better than it was, but it's still a really good game. But that does not deserve to be in the Game of the Year nominations. No. Not even close.
Yeah.
Psychonauts 2. I played that. I didn't like it, so I'm gonna be like, nah, that's not worth it. But in terms of gameplay and what it do and that, it is quite a good design. But again, is it Game of the Year material? When you list this up to all the other indie titles that probably light years ahead of some of this stuff on here, but because it's not a big name,
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
won't make the sponsored game of the year edition. Let's be honest, it's the sponsorships that are dictating what's being peddled here. Because they want to drum sales the way of their sponsors, and you know damn sure Capcom, Bethesda Studios, and Xbox Game Studios are going to be putting some money at these awards to try and get their games mentioned, whether they deserve to be there or not. And I think that's a lot of the heated discussion about it.
Yeah.
Is it a fair system, or is it bought out? And I think we can all agree on it's pretty much bought out.
Yeah. Definitely.
So are we going to move on from this one?
Yeah,
Are we
I
gonna...
think we
Yeah.
should. We've got a lot to cover.
Yeah. All right, that's game of the
So-
year, everybody.
All right. What's next?
So the next
Uh,
category, if you just click onto the next category, it gives you
yeah.
best game direction.
Same games,
Oh.
apart from one.
Oh.
Same
look,
games. Same
What a
games.
selection! What a
So-
selection
Ah,
to
there you
choose
go.
from.
I know,
There
right?
you
So yeah.
I don't I don't have that much to say except I don't really know what happens in any of these stories except
I
kind
know,
of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I don't know what had
that
the
should
best
be
story.
there. Guardians of the Galaxy is by far one of the best games of the year. It's not even in the best game of the
Best
year.
game,
I
best
know, yeah.
game
It's just
direction. Yeah,
It is mentioned a couple of
But,
times, but it's not
yeah,
where
we're gonna.
it should be mentioned.
Yeah, I think we might
I
come
will
to that.
I will say on best game direction, Returnal probably deserves a vote for how good that game is in terms of unique design. It's a roguelike shooter. And you basically go through this. You crash down on this alien planet, and you're stuck in the time loop. And every time you die, the loop resets, and you've got to try and figure out how to escape the loop. And while you're in this loop, you basically go through her memories, and they appear on the alien planet, and you play them, and it's quite creepy, and it's done like very like PT style. And
Yeah.
it zooms in from third person roguelike action game to first person horror. The transitions is very, very good. I I didn't like the game in the end because I couldn't do it. It was too hard for me. I got annoyed with it. I got stuck. I couldn't progress. Because you basically, when you die, you have to restart. No matter how far you've got into the level, you had to restart from the beginning every time. There was no save mechanic. There was no saving and come back later. And you had to complete the game in one sitting in 8 hours, which is impossible for me. So
Yeah.
that's why I got rid of it. But that side, out of them 5, that wins by miles.
Yeah. Was
Easily.
that
Fair
PlayStation exclusive?
PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Yeah. Sorry, Beth.
Okay.
Sorry,
No,
Beth.
no,
Didn't mean to cut
No,
you off. Sorry.
I don't know what to say. I was looking at the wrong category. That's why I said Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
So, now I know what we're talking about. I don't really know what to say either. So, I like Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank. I like the direction they went in with that, with
Yeah.
like gameplay and the design. So,
yeah. So that could be a 1 for that one, I would say. Right, category 2, 3.
I don't know why Deathloop's there. Deathloop does not
the
deserve
one
to
I
be
was
there.
looking at, narrative.
Oh look, Deathloop's there again. Oh, surprise!
Well, even I don't know what happens in Deathloop. Like I know
You're
that.
You're stuck in a loop, a time loop. And,
I mean,
you
that's a
have to
cool
kill people.
concept.
You
That's
have
a
to.
cool
It's an
concept.
it's an arena
Yeah.
shooter, and
Okay.
you fight. You have to target NPCs and kill them before the other player kills you. That's the game. Sounds really
Really?
cool, but
Yeah.
it's not. it's generic. It's oh, what's it called? Dishonored, but
Oh,
minus
with
all the
gun.
good bits
Right. Okay.
and,
Yeah.
and generic gunplay. So yeah, it does not deserve to be anywhere near this list. I don't know what well, we know what Bethesda are doing. Here's $100 million. Put our game on there. I know probably not that much, but yeah. Best
Yeah.
narrative. I've not
I
played Life is Strange, so
haven't played any of these,
um,
so I don't know
you
what
gotta know what
happens.
I'm gonna
Right, so
say here.
best narrative.
Marvel, I'll
narrative.
say.
Yeah.
I'll
Marvel
say.
Guardians of the Galaxy by a landslide. If that doesn't win best narrative, then this is rigged big time.
Yeah. Right.
So
That
just to go through it. So best narrative, it's Deathloop again. It Takes Two again.
again,
Now we've got Life is Strange, True Colors, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and then again Psychonauts
Psychonauts
2.
2, yeah. Well,
And you're saying
Life is
Well,
Strange
Marvel's.
wasn't very well received, was it? True Colors. It
I
wasn't as
don't
good
I
think
as
so. I
as
don't.
good as people said it. Well, wasn't as good as people thought it was going to be. I know
I
a lot of
think
people
so.
just stopped playing it for some
Yeah.
reason. They got to a certain point in the game and they just dropped it. So I don't know what it does. Maybe we can look into that one point in the future.
Square
Yeah.
Enix
I don't
again.
know. I don't
We
know
can
why
get
that's there.
Alex.
Yeah,
We can,
Alex, get Alex in and talk about it. Yeah,
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 because he
yeah.
played it.
he
He
played
played
it.
all the games,
He's played
didn't
every game.
he? Yeah. So we could get
Right.
him as a guest. Talk
Yeah.
about it. Anyway.
Yeah,
Um.
sure.
Right. Moving
I
along.
say Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy because I don't know what happens in the other ones, and Guardian of the
Yeah,
Galaxy
I'm
seems the coolest.
that's
So
the only one out of the list that so far I've got. Well, apart from the Village, I've got that as well. But on this
Yeah.
particular list, I've got Guardians as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
I've got to try and get into it at some point. But hopefully, my new weekend's off, I'm gonna have time.
yeah,
Right, next category.
Yep.
yeah.
Category 4. This is best art direction. So you've got
Okay.
the art for Escape, Deathloop again. Is it Kenna? Bridge of
Bridge of
Spirits,
Spirits. Yeah.
Oh, that
Psychonauts
one.
2,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Ratchet
That's
Clank
good.
Rift
I've
Apart.
heard good things about. Well,
I've
I haven't heard anything about it, but I've seen gameplay.
I've played it. I've got it. It's one of my favorite games that I've yet to complete.
Yeah, I
In terms of
saw
art
gameplay.
direction,
Yes.
it's and
It looks great.
it is amazing. I mean, the graphically, it is jaw dropping.
Mhm.
That is 100%. That is a real toss up between Ratchet and Clank and Bridge of Spirits out of them two there. Artful Escape, I've played. That is quite a good looking game, and art design was quite a unique experience.
Mhm.
But it's compared to Kenya and Ratchet, it's not in the same league. Deathloop can just go away. Just why it's even being mentioned in the best art direction, I do not know. Is it everyone wearing Deathloop rose tinted goggles or something? Just clicking all this. Psychonauts 2 again. That has a unique art design, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's between them three there: Ratchet and Clank, Psychonauts 2, and
Kenna.
Kenna. If Deathloop wins, somebody's getting punched in the walls.
Yeah.
Wow. We don't endorse violence on this,
No,
but
it'll
but
be
there
a
are occasions.
verbal punch. I punched you. There we go.
Oh my god! I can't add
Oh.
anything to these as well because I've not seen anything. I mean, Ratchet and Clank, yeah, they can't win everything, but I would say Kenna.
Like,
I would say
Okay.
that does look stunning. I think I watched you play it, so
Yeah,
it
it's
was
very good
very
game. I
aesthetically
need to carry on playing that. To be fair,
pleasing. Yeah, and yeah, Psychonauts again, like you said. I have seen some of that, and I can see why that would be there. So
Yeah,
that's kind of okay for me.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next
is
category.
best score and music.
Best score and music. Again, we've got the Art for
Okay.
Escape. We've got Cyberpunk 2077, Deathloop, Marvels of the Galaxy,
sorry, I'm trying not to
Guardians
laugh.
of the Galaxy, and we've got Nier Replicant as well.
Right,
I mean, I know the Cyberpunk 20 it was a bad game, but the music was all right.
Music.
But
the
I
music
know
was broken. They didn't even
I
play
know,
the
I know.
stuff half the time, and
I know.
it mixed the wrong tracks together. It played the same tracks along with three other tracks overlaying each other, and every single section I went into, I couldn't tell what music was playing and what wasn't. It was just all noise.
It
So
was yeah, okay.
if
Okay.
you have obviously listened to it properly, Beth, so
Yeah,
you have a
well,
better idea than me. I can't have it other than negative because I didn't really listen to it because it was just all
well, to be honest, I didn't
game.
have the fullest experience with Cyberpunk because when I was playing it, I had an older PC, so I couldn't run it to its full potential, and the music wasn't like it was okay, but the only music I noticed was when you get into battle and they do the you know like that,
Yeah.
and That's the only
Yeah.
music I remember. But I know what we're all gonna say. I already know because I've heard good things about.
Near Replicant.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah, we
No,
all know.
I
We
think
all know
Marvel.
Marvel
Yeah.
Guardians of
Marvel's
the Galaxy's got the
Galaxy,
best music score by
the
miles.
music and the score as well. Just like because it has to be. Obviously, it's two different. Can be two different things because it's like this is like obviously where there's licensed music as well. It's not just it's got that great 80s songs. Again, we covered this last time on the podcast where we talked about not being able to stream it safely without being slapped on the wrist. But
Yeah.
if you do play this, you'll want to play it so in a safe environment where you're not going to get told off by anyone and be told off for like using licensed music. So yeah, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, I think that was always going to be, that has to be the win. If it I'm gonna punch someone if it don't if they don't.
That's the only one that's
It
like,
stands out.
stands
Most-
out. You know.
Yeah. That music score is one of the best to ever grace a video game. But if that doesn't win, then Near Replicant, in all honesty, has an exceptionally good music score as well.
Yes, yeah.
So if Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be beaten by anybody, I would be happy for Near Replicant to take the W on that one. If Cyberpunk wins that, then two people are getting punched.
All right, let's go on to the next one. So we got best audio design.
Yeah.
Deathloop, Forza Horizon 5, Ratchet and Clank, and Resident Evil Village, and Returnal.
None of them should be there, apart from maybe Returnal.
Yeah, I don't really. You take sound for granted. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I
And
mean, yeah.
You don't really
of course.
notice. You don't really notice like sounds of like a gun reloading or something like that. But I guess we are gonna go with what's most realistic to the game. Would you say, or what does audio like what?
It's sound effects, isn't it?
Sound effects.
Sound
It's
effects.
the roar of
Yeah,
the
ambience.
engine and
Yeah, the ambient sounds.
Ambient,
and
yeah.
setting the
I don't really know what
environment.
to say.
I mean, I would say Returnal out of them 5.
I mean, I haven't played Returnal, so I can't really say. I can't personally say that
But
I know that it's good.
You
Like
walk
the
past
sound.
you walk past like an alien bush. It lights up and it makes a sound like a very it's a unique sound that I can't quite pinpoint, but it's very pleasing to your eardrums, and it sounds
Okay.
like you're walking through like an actual forest with the 3D surround sound as well, the PlayStation 5. So it's a very unique experience. Audio design has to be Returnal out of them 5 games. There's no contest.
Sorry. Personally, I'm gonna go with Village just because they did a really good job at making a really creepy atmosphere in some parts of the game.
Yeah.
I'm of course talking about the baby. The
Yeah.
baby that will forever haunt me, and I thought the sound effects in that part was pretty good.
Yeah, that was horrendous. That
Yeah.
gave you the heebie-jeebies big time.
So I have played Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah,
and
me too.
And I don't think I don't know I don't really want to say that for best audio design. Yeah, it's good with the engine and stuff.
Sounds of an engine. It's
generic.
It's generic. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I can't.
Standard.
I can't go with. I mean, you got and then Deathloop. It's just again generic sort of like gun reloading and shooting off guns. It's not necessarily realistic enough, but yeah, it's I'm gonna go with the Village. I'll go with the Village on this one.
Yeah, the village is good, but because I've experienced the Returnal's unique sound,
That's
I will say Returnal over Village. Village, I've completely forgotten about the baby section. I've blocked it out of my mind. Thanks for reminding me of that.
I'm so glad that you have. I wish I could too, but I haven't managed to do that.
So we're moving on to actors. Best performance.
Best performance.
Interesting.
Voice acting, motion, or performance capture?
I can't pronounce
Well, there's
most
only
of
one
these
winner here
people's
out of these 5.
I
Far Cry
recognise
6,
I
right?
recognise only
Or is it
one
Lady
person. Now.
Dimitrescu?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which one are we going for?
There's 2 nominees to Deathloop here. What's
Breaking.
going on?
Oh,
Yes,
What's
both
what
the,
one?
the,
In
the
terms of
female lead
actors,
and the male lead from
Far
Deathloop.
Cry.
where's
So
the
Jason-
lead from Marvel's the Guardians of the Galaxy? Where's the guy that plays
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord? Yeah.
Drax. Or Drax.
Drax.
Any of them.
Put them 5 there.
Just any. You could have had all of them there. There's
Yeah,
only
easily.
one. There's only one I recognise as an actor because of
Gus. It's
Gus. Gus from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
that's.
I presume we're all going to go with that one, right?
I mean, you've played Far Cry 6, Beth, right?
Yes, I have.
So
He's good in
In the
it. Yeah.
boys.
he plays the main protagonist, right?
Yeah, the villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He's-
plays the
he's-
villain in the boys as well.
Yeah.
He's been in loads of stuff.
So
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
I think I say him. I'll
the
vote
only
for
other
him.
person I recognise is obviously from Resident Evil because of the
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
That's
It's
Maggie
between them
Robinson.
It is. I don't. I'm torn because I really like her portrayal as Lady Dimitrescu, but also he's Gus.
Yeah, so I think for me, I would go with the. I would go. Yeah, let's go with Gus. Gus.
Gus.
Is it
Okay.
Anton
say,
Castello?
I'm going to say Maggie
It's not
Robinson.
That's the actor. That's not the. Yeah.
I'm going to go with
Maggie
Lady
Robinson.
Dimitrescu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Lady Dimitrescu. And
Yeah.
in terms, can you think of voting? She's going to get the most votes. I'm sure.
Yeah, but she also did. She also have to act in CGI sort of.
Yeah,
stuff.
she did the
She did the motion capture,
yeah,
didn't she,
yeah.
as well? So yeah.
She's not the face of Lady Dimitrescu.
No,
she's
not,
the
no.
she's the voice and
She's
body.
Just voice and
Lady.
body.
Voice and motion capture, yeah.
Yeah. And then someone else got a face on there, which I don't know why they did that. That's kind of strange. But
No,
it
it
is.
is.
It's what it is.
Well, it's probably hard to find a 7-foot, not 8-foot real woman in real life.
But is she actually that tall? No, what I mean is, why didn't they use Maggie's face?
Probably didn't fit the character. I don't know. Ask the developers. Let's get them on here and interview them.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, voice best performance. We have split between those two. Then Far Cry.
I'm choosing Maggie. I really like her.
Maggie
as-
Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's Gus, but he's in a lot of movies and he's an acclaimed actor. Maggie isn't so well known.
Sorry, Erica Mori.
Yeah,
You don't get mentioned.
Sorry, it's not like you're famous already.
Well, she did. Well, yeah, Alex Chen for Life is Strange.
Okay.
But I was just sort of reading. I was just reading out just for the sake of listeners.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
So it's okay.
You got Jason Kelly as Colt Vaughn from Deathloop, and as Ozomaya. I can't even say that. I don't know that person.
She was Juliana Blake from.
Who plays Juliana Blake. Apologies, I can't say your name.
And obviously, the like you said, the protagonist in Far Cry 6, Anton Castello. We know as Gus.
Yes, Gus. All right.
Because we can't pronounce your name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. You're just called Gus because that's what we know you by.
Yeah.
So professional.
So we're so pro at reading.
Games
for Impact.
Okay, so
I'm just gonna say
before
I
your
don't agree with most of these.
Boyfriend
just because
Dungeon.
I don't recognize nearly all of these. And
what does it mean by thought-provoking game with pro-social meaning or message?
I think it just means talking.
Does that mean you have to include the nutter side of Twitter? Is that what it means? We include all the nutters.
This is
just means
a very odd category.
Yeah,
that's what it means. We include all the nutters.
Sorry, I think it's because this is hard because I think it means games that had an impact talking about certain social stuff and being woke, maybe?
Politically correct. Should we say that?
Yeah, okay, we'll say that. We'll say that.
Well,
I don't really know what to say. Like, I don't really.
I don't know any of these, because apart from Life is Strange, the only one there that is on that list. So let's just vote for that, because it's the only one that anyone's going to talk about.
I just think it's very carefully worded. Why they would say
It is.
thought-provoking,
It is.
Make you
pro-social
think.
meaning.
Yeah.
I thought that would mean like a puzzle game or something,
Yeah,
you know?
no, it's not. It's to include the Me Too movement. That's basically what it is. It's include everybody, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
Representation is all big now in the 2020s. So, if you're going on that side of it, then Boyfriend Dungeon wins by a landslide.
Yeah, I'm
Because
just gonna.
it has the first character you meet
Yeah.
is a non-gender Pacific. They're blatantly female, but they are not a gender. So they identify as other in the game.
So
and that's basically what it must mean, what it means.
So
fair enough.
the choices were basically Before Your Eyes, Boyfriend Dungeon, and Chicory, A Colourful Tale, Life is Strange, True Colours, and No Longer Home.
Yeah, unless it doesn't mean that. I'm going by their own wording here, and that's what I'm assuming that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And given the choices, some of these are.
But Boyfriend Dungeon.
LGBTQ plus friendly, and that's absolutely fine. I've got no problem with that. So why just have a section best representation for blah blah blah? Why word it in a stupid way? It could mean other things.
A thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning. Or message.
Exactly. Just say what you mean and don't talk nonsense. Stop dancing around the subject.
Stop dancing. Yeah.
Exactly.
We're all grown-ups. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
The ones that don't act like a grown-up are the ones that you ignore. It's simple as that. But out of all them, Before Your Eyes is a great visual experience in terms of like, wow, that looks awesome. Chicory, A Colourful Tale is a unique game with a unique graphical style. Has a unique setup. No Longer Home I haven't played, so I can't comment on that. Life is Strange again covers all the what we were just talking about, and Boyfriend Dungeon includes everybody, including the aliens and universe. Why? So it's I was gonna say Boyfriend Dungeon wins in that game for impact category, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that too, because I agree. So
let's move it on swiftly. Best ongoing: Apex Legends, yay! Final Fantasy Online, Fortnite, Genshin Impact, and Call of Duty Warzone, yay! Again,
can I skip this one?
Best ongoing and awarded to a game for outstanding development on ongoing content that involves the player experience over time.
That's none of them, man.
None of them.
Like, none of these games actually, like, I know they try, but like people who play Call of Duty Warzone, like their recent their updates have been absolutely horrible. I don't really play Genshin Impact, so I don't know what kind of thing they do. Apex Legends, it's just Fortnite.
We know about Fortnite, don't we?
I don't know.
Alien.
Yeah.
It's got Alien. We've got Alien skins, Mum. Can I have £10?
Yay!
Yeah, because I want to keep this game going as long as it can by funding it from your pocket.
Why is Destiny there?
Yeah, like there's many games.
Destiny should be there instead of Apex Legends. That's had the most improvement over time.
Yeah,
Apex Legends has had hardly any improvement, really, apart from bug fixes and buy this skin for £100.
I don't understand this. Like, Destiny 2 had this whole reskin thing. Well, not reskin, but they updated it.
Warframe.
Yeah, like what is going on? This is unfair, and I don't.
I mean, when it says best on, because it's best ongoing, none of these come out this year, so it didn't have to be from this year.
Yeah,
they obviously looked at
the. That is really. I think
Where's
they're looking at statistics more than what the players are saying, to be honest. Because
if
none of these games have had super over positive,
to be fair,
you know.
there's one game there that's light years ahead of all them four. They shouldn't even be in the same category. Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO online game which has a massive budget, has a subscription service, and has far more money put into it than any other game there in terms of actual content and gameplay mechanics. I'm not going to
Yeah.
include Fortnite because Fortnite is just hell. It's just no, I'm not going to talk about it. We haven't
No.
That's just.
Apex Legends is in the same boat as Fortnite. Genshin Impact, my kids are obsessed with, so I hate it. And Call of Duty Warzone is just an inferior version of Call of Duty with skins. So
And lots of hackers.
the only one that
Yeah.
wins there is Final Fantasy out of them five. But
Yeah.
there's games that should be on.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
That should be a bigger category. There's not enough there.
I have
Like,
no idea what to do, so I'm just gonna go with Final Fantasy because,
I
like, all of these.
out
are,
of all
like,
of those,
yeah.
if I was forced to vote, which I'm not, so it doesn't matter. But Final Fantasy would
have
win it
to
for me.
vote.
You have to vote for the more superior one there, and that is Final Fantasy. It has a much better content than any of them, as far as I can see.
New
Like,
World should be there.
New World New World hasn't
Yeah.
been included, which was out this year, which was for a Game of the Year awards to not include a game that came out this year.
Yeah.
I find kind of odd. It's
Elder
like,
Scrolls Online,
yeah,
Pokemon, World of Tanks, World of Warships. The list
Yeah.
is on and on and on.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, I'm going to the next category.
Yeah,
Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving
Best
on
best
before I
indie
fly
now.
into a
Best
rage.
best indie. This is something which speaks to me a little bit. Oh shit! Wait, I've just seen the right. So it's 12 minutes. Death's Door, Inscription. Again, we've gone back to Kenna and
Yeah.
Loop Hero, which we briefly mentioned. Actually,
Yeah.
I've
That-
only played 12 minutes out of all these games.
I know
I-
Loop Hero.
I've played them all.
Okay.
Right. So
Okay. Wow.
I will say
So
best indie Inscription should not be there. No, I've already explained why earlier in the podcast, so I'm not going to go over it. But that's a big no. 12 minutes is a difficult one for me to to put in this list because it's not. I would say it's trying something different and trying to be innovative with mechanics and gameplay. Yes, that deserves a mention in that regard. But best indie, no, there are far more better indie games in 12 minutes. Unfortunately, how can you even class 12 minutes as an indie game with this stellar cast? It's got William Dafoe, James
Yeah.
McAvoy, and the woman from Star Wars, the main female lead. I can't remember her name. Mary Sue.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name.
Mary Sue. God
I can't
damn.
remember her name. But yeah, she's in it. So that alone for budget I wouldn't class that as the same. That's more of a double A game than an indie title to me. Death's Door is basically a very good top-down view Dark Souls-esque game, roguelike, bit like Hades meets Dark Souls.
Yeah.
It's a very cool game. I haven't played much of it, but I can see why that would be there.
Yeah.
Kenya Bridge of Spirits, we know, is a fantastic game. Again, that falls into the double A category. Not quite AAA, but still has more budget than you'd say your average indie studio. That's Ember Labs' first ever game as well. They're a Chinese development, and that game is phenomenal. So best indie, best newcomer. We have best newcomer, probably not. And Loop Hero, me and Funny Bits have played Loop Hero.
Yeah.
That is a good game.
It is.
Whether it's best out of the indie scene, I don't know. But it's a good game. But I don't know if it's worthy of being classed as best.
This is kind of really difficult to.
If you get rid of Inscription, maybe put Lake. Wasn't that was indie? We all enjoyed that, didn't we? as an indie
Yeah,
game.
we did.
Yeah,
But
why don't
they don't agree with
they
us.
don't? Lake was a good game, and yeah, even if you got
Yeah.
a free copy of it, but
There's
doesn't matter.
there's a good,
It was
there's
a good game. No, do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It was a good
there's
game. It was never
I
got
would put
recognised.
I would put Lake in there over 12 minutes easily.
Yeah.
yeah.
Easily.
So
I'm
just
going
gonna
to go
go
with Loop Hero for me on this
Yeah.
because I've played
Fair
it.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it's gonna be between Death's Door and Kenya. That's my prediction.
Yep.
I'll be
just because you've said good things, I'm gonna say Kenya.
yeah. If
'Cause I don't know what else to
if
put.
Inscription wins this, I'm going to cry.
It probably
It probably
probably
will.
will.
It probably will.
Yeah, so you'll see me
We
crying.
know the fate.
Well,
Yeah. Right. So should we move on?
yeah. Best mobile game. Oh
We're
dear.
running
me.
What
Right.
the?
Okay.
Can we just skip?
Yeah.
don't-
Can we?
care.
We don't.
Skip it.
No.
I
I've
don't
got
care about mobile games.
mobile.
So...
We're gonna move on. We're not
Yeah.
even going to mention the
I'm
categories.
just going to say briefly, I've played all these,
Okay.
and they're all shit.
Next.
Was it Fantasy and Genshin Impact, League of Legends Wild Rift, Marvel Future Revolution, and Pokemon Unite? That's
Okay,
your options.
next.
Moving on,
Yeah,
next
Genshin
category.
Impact will-
Best
Genshin
Next.
Impact
community
will-
support.
What?
Now Destiny 2 gets mentioned.
Oh, I don't.
So Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy Online, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. Best
I think No Man's
community
Sky,
best
'cause
community
it
support.
changed a
Yeah.
lot, didn't it?
It has
Just-
changed.
We
Very
need to play
Beth.
that. We need
Yeah.
to play that. We do need to play that.
No
Seriously.
Man's Sky from Hello Games, when that first came out, that was 2016 that came out.
That was in the doghouse.
And that was in the
Everyone
doghouse
hated
for being the worst game ever for
Yeah.
its promises. It promised to do this, and this, and this, and the
Yeah.
massive list. They went into hiding, and instead of giving up and saying no, we've give up, we've had too much backlash from it, they actually went away and fixed it. They actually took the time. They never responded to anyone's like criticisms. They just said, look, they never said nothing. They just went away. People thought they completely forgotten about it. They completely I'd say not reinvented the game, but like basically went back on there and developed
Went back to the drawing board.
and
with
went
it.
back to the drawing board with it and gave people what they wanted.
Yeah, what they
Many
promised.
people what they promised. I think I did the same as everybody else. I jumped on the bandwagon. I'm again, it was back in 2016, so I was doing videos then, so I was doing YouTube videos. So I did the same amount of videos as everybody else on the platform, and there was like you got a maximum of 5 videos, I think, out of 20 minutes each, which is basically an hour's worth. And yeah, it was like, right, so I got to the end of the game, I've completed it, I've done everything what everyone else done, and I said same thing. That was a waste of time, blah blah blah. Couple of years down the line, it's now one of the best games out there actually for multiplayer game.
Yeah.
For a multiplayer game, the way they've developed it, they've even introduced VR, which doesn't take away from the original game itself, the experience. For me, No Man's Sky is on this one, and
No Man's
maybe
Sky's
Destiny.
always a second.
Yeah, I know Beth was you mentioned in Destiny 2, so that's
definitely 2 or No Man's Sky.
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'll let you have your own experience. I'll let you have your own.
I'm gonna go No Man's Sky just because I think they listened to the community and they really just changed their game, and now people like it. So, I think that
I'd be happy. I'd be happy for No Man's Sky, and I'd accept Destiny 2 on this one as well. I think, and then, like you said, they've changed it enough to
do Destiny 2 then, because I played Destiny 2 more than
more than
No Man's
but
Sky.
I mean, I've played more No Man's Sky. So I went back to it. So that's up. Yeah, no,
it's up to you guys.
It's freedom of choice, Beth. Freedom of choice. If you want to go for whichever one you want.
Okay, I'm gonna go Destiny.
Out of the 3 of us, I'm going to choose No Man's Sky.
I'm going to go with No Man's Sky as well, just based on the improvements of the game based on community feedback. If that's what it's implying, if it's not implying that, then Final Fantasy 14 will win. Just because it's a bigger community. Simple as that.
So yeah, what's it? Just reading the subtext. It's recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparencies, and responsiveness. Exclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches. Yeah. So yeah, well, basically what we said. Right,
So
next category.
next category, innovation and accessibility.
Wow.
Okay.
So
my Alexa talked to itself.
Far Cry 6, Forza Horizon 5, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Ratchet and Clank's back in there again, and the Vow, Shadow of the Crown. So innovation.
I've never heard of it. I've never heard of that.
No, can't tell you one way or another.
I can answer for this one. The accessibility is basically like it includes color blindness if you're deaf, unique gameplay mechanics, so you can customize everything from the difficulty of the enemies up specifically how much damage you do, how much damage they do, how much damage you take, how much damage they take, how often they spawn in, how you can literally customize every aspect of the game. So you can have like for instance, you can have your damage on high and have the enemy on AI on low. So you can basically make it cheese mode, or you can put everything to super high and have your health like super low. So you can customize it however hard you want. And this also includes like all the features, like I said, the color blindness and the ease of access to playing for the deaf side of it. In terms of that, from what I've played. Sorry, Beth, just very quickly. From what I've played, Guardians of the Galaxy has the best accessibility options I've seen in any video game.
Yeah.
That and I'm not trying to be biased. I actually went through the options. I was like, there's like 4 menus of accessibility options alone.
Yeah.
And there's the top to bottom. So that's in terms of innovation, that's the first game I've seen to do that.
I will say that I don't know why Far Cry 6 is on here, because I felt like it didn't have too much features. Like, of course, it had like color blindness and stuff like that, but I don't think it has as much as, like, you'd say Guardians of the Galaxy or Forza Horizon 5. That had a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah.
Like that had so much.
Far Cry 6 is on here because they needed 5 games.
There's like, why not? It's why not? For me personally, I'm gonna go with Forza Horizon 5 just because I've played that and I've seen the amount of options they have, and I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sticking with Guardians of the Galaxy for me.
Okay.
I'm going to be Marvel. I would say Marvel just over Forza, but yeah, I do agree with both of these choices, but I'll go with Marvel as a choice of, like, not just to be fanboy or anything, but yeah, I actually do
just a little.
Yeah. But I actually do like the options that they had as well. It's not just like you said, but I could be on the fence on this one. I could be it's 50. It's sort of 40-60 in it. I mean, it's not 50-50 is what I meant to say.
Oh, it's not.
But yeah, Marvel. I'm gonna go with the Marvel one.
Okay.
Right,
moving on.
Best VR/AR games.
I don't play VR, so
okay.
But if anyone does have an opinion,
so I have played VR games in the past. Why is Beat Saber not here? Come on, Beat Saber is like one of the best VR games ever made. I didn't even know Hitman 3 had VR option to it. That's pretty cool, but I haven't seen any gameplay of it.
What's Phasmophobia?
Yeah, like Phasmophobia.
So,
come on.
Just to reiterate, then it's Hitman 3, I Expect You to Die 2, Lone Echo 2, Resident Evil 4, Sniper Elite VR. Those are the options. Those are the.
I mean, I think these are pretty cool games to be in this category, but I don't think they're the best. There are other best games out there.
And did any of these come out this year?
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 did.
Yeah, so these. So it is just for this year's releases then.
I
Doesn't
will
say
just
that, but yeah.
I will say that because
But-
I'm a huge fan of I Expect You to Die, the first one, I'm just gonna pick that because
That
Yeah.
as
I
a,
think
yeah,
I
that
love that game.
from what I've seen of it, I would say that's probably the best option out
Yeah,
of this
I haven't
list.
currently I haven't heard super good things about Sniper Elite VR.
No, no, I
Resident
haven't either.
Evil haven't either. I know Lone Echo, the first one was really good, so I presume that one is probably quite good. But I'm just gonna be because I'm gonna fangirl and go for I Expect You to Die too, just
Yeah,
because
Expect You to
I
Die.
like the first
I'm
one.
gonna go with that one as well.
Yeah, I think that's a unanimous vote on that one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
expect you to die too then.
It's one of the
Next.
best. It's fun. It's a fun game. So yeah. Anyway,
Next.
next.
Right, best action
Next.
game. Back for Blood.
Okay.
Why is Deathloop here?
Go
Deathloop.
away, Death.
Seriously, why is Deathloop here?
Is it
Get out of
Chivalry? Yeah.
Chivalry.
Chivalry. Yeah, thank you, Beth.
Chivalry
Chivalry, Deathloop,
2.
Far Cry
Why
6,
is Back 4
and
Blood on here?
I don't
That's
know.
not even a good game. That's
I'm just-
average.
it's
I'm just gonna
average.
say
It's
Far
average.
Cry 6. That's the best.
I've seen. I've
In my
not
opinion.
really. I mean, Deathloop. I don't know.
You're gonna be
I
excited
know.
about the next category.
Returnal. I mean, I'm not. I've seen it, so I can't say. But I would say, yeah, Far Cry.
That's
I
Or
just say that because it's
Returnal.
one of the. It's just
For me,
very fun gameplay, action, blowing up stuff.
I mean, I've played Far Cry games, so I you know,
pretty much
I
the same thing.
I know that they're pretty much copy and paste, pretty much.
Yeah,
You know,
pretty much.
along the way, pretty
But
much, pretty much.
They did change some stuff in this.
Yeah.
So, which are really nice little changes to it. So I'm gonna say that's because I didn't play any of the others.
Yeah.
I haven't played Back for Blood yet. We
I
tried.
have, which we did try. I had because I have it on both now. Not at the time. I know we tried to play when we tried to play. I didn't have it on Game Pass, but I do have it on. I have played it. I played it when
Yeah.
I played the beta, and it's not. No, it's not. It's not brilliant. It shouldn't. It's not the best.
To me,
It's not.
to be honest.
It's not the best action game. It shouldn't be on here at all.
You know.
Yeah, Chivalry. Yeah, it looked good from what I saw. Deathloop. Meh. No, I'll go with Far Cry
I don't know why
just
that's
because.
Where's Demon Souls?
Yeah,
You know,
well,
where's Final Fantasy 7
there's
remake?
a
Where's
lot
all
of-
where's the decent games? Where's what was it we was talking about last week? What's it called? It wasn't Hades. It was the other one. That you
The
was playing.
Pyre. The Pyre.
Not the Pyre. The one that you was talking about. Funny Bits Boy. The one
Oh,
that you spotlighted. I can't
yeah,
the name
Curse of
escapes me.
the Dead Gods.
Yeah, Curse of the Dead Gods. Where's that?
Ah.
That should be
Yeah,
in there.
that should have been
You
on
know,
there as a.
Hades should be in there. This is nonsense. I'm not even going to say anything. This disappoints me. This can start off.
Next category.
Yeah, this category. I'm not even going to
Best
bother. That
action
fucking annoys me.
adventure. What the? Best action
That's
adventure.
the same.
It's the
What
same
is
basically.
this?
As, look, Marvel is again.
Okay,
Marvel's
Marvel.
got Marvel.
Next.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Marvel out of all them. That is not. That's disgusting.
Psychonauts 2 is
That's
still there.
that is disgusting.
Resident Evil.
Who's doing this? Honestly, who's doing this?
We-
They've just copy and paste every.
Do you know
game.
what? When we get to the end,
Copy
we
and
go.
paste it.
There's a jury at the top, right? What we do is when we get to the end of the
Right,
cat, we'll go through the
What
jury.
the
We'll find
fuck?
out who actually
Right.
voted.
Yeah, we got to.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find out who's responsible for this
Sorry,
BS.
sorry. I just skipped ahead to best role playing game, and I just instantly just said what the f by accident, you know, out of shock.
Yeah. Well, I
Right.
have played. Okay, so just people listening, there best action adventure. There was Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy, Metro Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village, and we all chose Marvel.
Yep.
So
there we
next,
go. Next category.
next is best
It's-
role
Sorry,
playing.
Sorry, my bad.
Best role playing games, and you get.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what to say with this. I haven't played.
I own Scarlet Nexus. So the options are Cyberpunk 2077, Monster Hunter Rise, Scarlet Nexus, Someone say that for me. Tales of
Uh,
Horizon.
That hasn't even been out a
Horizon.
month.
Horizon.
How
Yeah.
can that be
Saying-
best role-playing?
I can't speak. I can't
I am
read.
not saying. I don't know how to say that. So,
Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Thank you.
beautiful. Okay.
See, I would have said V.
Tell,
No, it's the
Tales
fifth
of
game. I know it's the
Rise.
fifth game.
Yeah.
Okay. So out of all these, I have only played Cyberpunk. I know. I will say that I think the missions in that game were pretty cool. The bugs were not so cool. So
Depends on your perspective. They could have been
Yeah.
quite funny.
I'm sorry, but you can't include Cyberpunk in best role-playing game when a game is not even playable half the time.
I
and
know, I
there's
know.
more bugs than an anthill.
But what we've got here
Right.
is terrible.
is terrible,
It's
and the
terrible.
only one that I know that I enjoyed some of the missions in was Cyberpunk.
Monster
And I
Hunter.
know I don't know what you guys want to
No,
say. Like, which one do you think?
I know which one I want to choose. It's going to be Scarlet Nexus. I have played it and I've got it. I actually quite enjoyed it. I thought it was quite
Very
quite
underrated.
good. Very underrated. Monster
Okay.
Hunter Rise doesn't come out on PC just yet, but it is available on the Switch. So that's their
Monster
as
Hunter's quite a niche market, though, isn't it?
it's
quite
a very niche market, and
It's not a big.
What's
No.
Tales of Arise? What's that like?
Yeah, I've played it. There isn't enough time for me to talk about it. I will say
Oh,
that it
Is
starts
it
off really
good?
well, and then it gets extremely repetitive
Okay,
Okay.
and
okay.
boring. It sort of falls off a cliff
right.
Okay.
halfway through it. So
Well, my
it's not
Okay.
best, not even close to being best.
Okay.
I like Scarlet Nexus to win this one, but yeah.
Yeah,
It's right.
It doesn't say it can't exclude remakes or remasters. So where is Mass Effect Legendary Edition?
Yeah.
Or like maybe
That's one of the best RPGs of all time. That should be in there,
Best
especially
role.
over bloody Cyberpunk. Come on.
I don't know what's going on here, to be perfectly honest.
Tales of Arise and Cyberpunk shouldn't be in this list. And no, sorry, Monster Hunter fans, although it's a good game, it isn't the best role-playing game. That's more of an action-based game.
Yeah,
rather
no,
than
it's
It should have been in the
No, it's-
previous.
yeah.
yeah, I
one.
don't
That
I
should be in the
don't
preview. I agree, Beth. Should have
Yeah.
been the best action game.
exactly.
It's here.
I mean, I like Monster Hunter games, but no, again, with you, it doesn't deserve to be in this list.
It's not a role-playing game. It's not a role-playing game.
And
Okay, next.
no, we'll
sorry.
just move on. Should we? We're moving on, aren't we? We're just gonna let's go because we're gonna run
It's
out
a
of
lot.
time.
If I talk, it will be all night. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we have the next category is best fighting game.
Yeah.
I don't even.
I know.
don't
I
play
play
these.
fighting games. I play
You
fighting
do?
games.
You do?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's not on stream, but I do play them.
I'm just
Um,
gonna say SpongeBob just because I like SpongeBob.
So
Nickelodeon
I
All-Star
don't-
Brawl. To be honest,
I-
is probably gonna win.
Yeah, I'm just gonna choose that
Melty
because I
Blood
don't know
Type.
any others.
Virtual Fighter 5, Guilty Gear. I mean, I like the look of that one, and it was like, should I get it or not? And how much am I going to invest into it? Probably not a lot, and then I'd get bored. So no, I
Yeah.
didn't get it, but I liked it. I liked the look of it though. It was like, oh yeah, kind of, yeah.
Guilty Gear Strive is one of the best looking fighter games released in a generation. But the guys that make it, Arc System Works, are renowned for their art style. They made Dragon Ball Z Fighters and a bunch of others. That game is in terms of fighting, that is the best game out of the 5 there, hands down. Demon Slayer is a carbon copy of the Naruto fighting games, and it is so generically boring that it's just a waste of a license. That shouldn't be there. Not even. They should put Street Fighter 5 back in here. That's better than Demon Slayer. Nickelodeon will probably win because it's multiplayer. Where's Super Smash Brothers Ultimate?
Yeah.
That should be in here.
Yeah.
You got was it Gang Beasts? That should be in here. That's a hilariously fun game. But there hasn't been many fighting games released this year.
No,
anyway,
no.
so
I think Guilty Gear will probably get this one.
Guilty Gear
It had a lot. It had a lot of following when it did come out.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
it was big across Twitch recently when it came out. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say that probably will get it. But
Nickelodeon or Guilty Gear will be.
Yeah.
I'll be very surprised if Demon Slayer wins.
Yeah.
Maybe it might the strength of its license might carry over to the voting, but in terms of actual fighting mechanics, it is literally one of the blandest fighting games you can play. So
Yeah.
that's just right. But in terms of like, as an experienced fighting player, when you just like you've got 3 or 4 button combos with the odd button, it's very simplistic game design, so it's not very involved. So it doesn't take long to pick up. It's one of these things easy to pick up, fairly easy to master, not difficult to master. So again, the whole niche of that game is the online fighting side of it. And if you want to look at that side of things, Guilty Gear wins by a landslide.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on because I'm talking too much. We're running out of time.
Best family game.
Best family game.
Superstars.
Mario. 100%. If you Mario, yeah, Mario.
Superstars out of all them, it's maybe WarioWare, but that's it.
So we got
Snap and
Wario.
It Takes Two is not a family game.
No, it's not really a family game, is it?
No,
It Takes Two.
It's
more of
game.
it's a good sort of couples game.
Yeah.
When you think family and gaming, you think Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
So and there's what two
Mario.
two off technically
Nintendo
three
Yeah.
Nintendo games. New Pokemon Snap.
Well, 4 Nintendo games because Pokemon's Nintendo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got that.
So 4, yeah. So It Takes Two, Mario's Party Superstars, new Pokemon Snap, Super Mario 3D World, and WarioWare. Get it together.
It'd be Superstars or Mario 3D World.
Yeah, I mean
Okay,
that's it.
Mario.
Yeah, I'm just going to choose
Superstars.
Mario, even if I've not played it. It's just I know it's going to be there.
I know. Yeah.
Okay, I play Superstars with the family. Yes, that's a great game. That's a reasonably good list, to be fair.
I almost brushed shoulders with the voice of Mario actually at a convention. Yes,
You met him.
I sort of brushed shoulders. Yeah, I didn't realise it was in him until I passed him because he was just in the crowd, sort of like. He was doing a talk in front of a crowd, and it was at a convention. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So there you go. And Jim Cummings was there as well, the voice of Winnie the Pooh.
Ah.
So yeah, there you go.
Nice.
But moving on, best sim strategy. Okay, so Age of Empires. It is pretty much. Well, there's a lot of
Inscription.
But we had a lot of PlayStation, didn't we, earlier? Now we've got an
Evil
Xbox.
Genius 2 even out yet?
Yeah.
It's out. I thought it wasn't out.
Humankind.
Came out on Game Pass today, and it was out earlier in the year on Steam. I love it, but I don't know if I've played enough of it to say it's best.
Yeah.
I don't really know what to put here because
Humankind, I don't think deserves to be on this list. That game is a very, very small player base. So that as terms under best, you're pushing it. If it was Civ 6 maybe.
I think we should either. Okay, personally, I think either. I don't know.
Yeah.
Best sim.
None of them.
Microsoft.
None of them deserve a vote, to be honest. None of them. They're not.
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
I think that's probably the best one. Like
as a sim.
As a sim, yeah, but you can't. They've lumbered sim and strategy.
I know it's weird.
Together, and they're separate categories.
They are like
you can't have the one. You don't have your simulated RTS game as well. You don't have a simulated.
They need to be separate. They need to be.
That's dumb. I don't. Flight Simulator will win that because that's the only thing that makes sense out of them.
I mean, it should win that, but it probably won't.
No,
because that's.
Yeah, it's like
Age of Empires 4 is good, but it's not.
You just
not best.
No, and
it's a small caption of the market as well. That's
it is
including all the other gamers that are present. So I disagree.
No.
Skip.
Let's move. Next category, please. Yes. Next category. Right. Best sports racing.
They've done it again. See.
Yeah,
two categories. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do racing and sports together. Like I know that.
Technically, they are sport, but it's like sports / racing. You just keep them separate. I would have thought.
But football and racing are two completely different things.
Yeah. So
what wheels is it even a proper sport?
So
and there's like one game here that's sports, and that's FIFA 22, and all the rest are racing games. That makes no sense.
Yeah. So just for those who are listening,
Riders Republic has been out a month.
Riders Republic. Hot Wheels Unleashed, Forza Horizon 5, FIFA 22, and F1 2021 is the choices to vote for.
They have to do categories like best sports, best racing
Yeah.
as their own categories, not
Yeah.
not do
This
that.
is nonsense. This is just
w-
making me angry. To be fair.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
ridiculously.
I know. I feel it. I feel the anger.
No, I can't. And it is only football, isn't it? Because you could have had
Screw
football,
this-
you could have had
screw this
basketball, you
title,
could have had hockey, you could have had they've all come out. I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure
The thing is, it's just all EA games. So it'd just be EA.
it's just EA. Yeah,
Well,
EA owns everything.
So
Yeah.
it'd just be best EA game. Oh, okay.
Best EA game.
None of them.
Oh.
All right, brilliant.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
I'm going to say Hot Wheels just to spite the rest of them because
Yeah,
you know,
because
Yeah, there we go. Well done, Millstone.
okay.
Right,
Uh,
moving on.
yeah.
Best multiplayer. What the? Why? How is this?
Okay.
How?
Why,
Look,
does,
for
why does this have 6 when everyone
oh
else
yeah,
has
oh
5?
yes, it has. Well spotted. Yeah.
This is
For outstanding online
Ah.
multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences. Right. Okay. First of all,
none of
where's
these.
New
Okay.
World?
New World is there.
New World is there.
It's there. It's there. Oh,
At
sorry, I
the
just didn't see it. Sorry, yeah, I didn't see
takes
it.
2.
My
It's
fault.
not
Phasmo-
multiplayer. It takes
It's
2
not-
as co-op.
Phasmophobia.
It's what it. Yeah, I mean, that's what they've done. They've put co-op and multiplayer, massive multiplayer, and like the
All
big
lumped
MMOs and
together.
MOBAs.
Yeah, all together.
I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't see New World, but yeah, Back for Blood, Knockout City, It Takes Two, Monster Hunter
Who plays
Rise, and
No
Valheim.
one.
Well,
Valheim.
one of the few PC games to see on this list. These
It is. Yeah, it is literally like
I'm just gonna go New World because that.
New World. Yeah,
I don't know what else to put.
Well, where else would you not?
It's just like
Yeah,
I don't
What?
know. I
Why
don't
is-
like
what?
this category system.
This-
I really don't.
It's dumb.
This is this right. I'll
Where's Phasmophobia?
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like,
I mean, yeah, because it came out last year.
If Valheim is on this list, where is Phasmo? If you're going to go down co-op
Yeah,
multiplayer on the PC,
yeah.
you know,
It's-
or even
You
Gun
could
Club Sport
get-
is better than half this stuff. on here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, for me.
oh
This is-
God.
This hurts a little bit.
Right, we'll
I
go-
mean, could have got rid of Back for Blood and then brought something else in, and in fact, got rid of the whole list.
Yeah, just get rid of all of them. To be honest.
yeah.
Revamp. Do.
we can
Anyway.
skip the next one.
I
'cause
can't
it's
wait for
content
next year's
creator.
categories.
Oh, I don't really care about content.
No one cares about
Content creators don't
so
care
no one
about
cares to
best
skip.
debut indie.
Best debut indie.
Right, the Artful Escape, The Forgotten City, Kenna is back again. Stable and
Deja Vu, anyone?
Valheim.
Oh,
Deja Vu, anybody? Deja Vu, anyone? No.
Yeah,
Deja Vu.
yeah.
I mean, best indie game.
Forgotten City.
yeah,
yeah.
That's what.
Yeah,
Can you know?
Kenna.
If
Kenna.
Kenya or the Forgotten City will win this.
Yes.
If Kenya doesn't win that, I'd be very surprised. But if that doesn't win, Forgotten City should win. Sable is the most boring game I've ever installed by
Yeah, I've
a
seen
country
gameplay.
mile.
I
Artful
can't-
Escape, I played a little bit, not really long enough to form an opinion. We all know what I think about Valheim.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna go with.
I'm going to vote for Lake. I know it's
Yeah.
not. It's not
That's
there,
right.
but it's not. I'm just putting it in because it's the
Yeah.
best debut indie I've
Yeah.
played this year.
Yeah.
All right, the Forgotten City. Then, if I have to choose,
there's so many games that should be in this list.
there's so many games.
There
Right.
should be at least 10.
We are gonna look at the jury. Don't worry, we will look at the
Mm.
jury.
Right, most anticipated
wait.
game.
Accord presented by Prime Gaming.
Elden Ring, God of War, Ragnarok.
God of War Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
Horizon
Yeah.
Forbidden West. The sequel to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Starfield. Well, Elder Ring.
Yeah.
Does that not have
Elden
a
Ring.
proper name? The sequel to
It doesn't
Legend
even.
of
No, it
Zelda.
doesn't. It doesn't have a proper
What?
name. They couldn't even be bothered to make up a name.
Is it called Breath of the Wild? Or is that
call it.
first
Just
name?
call-
No,
yeah.
that's its title. The sequel to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
That's such a
Oh,
long
it's like
name.
one of
Well
those
done,
long ass
Nintendo.
Japanese
Well
names that they have.
Okay. Well, not everyone's excited for Elden Ring.
Well, I don't know about that. It does have quite
Oh,
a lot of hype, but
it
I
does.
don't think it compares to God of War Ragnarok.
No, it's going to be.
Yeah.
I think the winner will be
Got to be Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
It's got
God
to be
of
Ragnarok.
War.
It's going to be, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be very
because of
surprised
the-
if it's not.
Yeah, definitely.
No, it'll be the sequel to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Oh,
Doesn't even
God.
have a name at that point.
Let's call it Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah,
know.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, which it will be called that, but they just haven't finalised it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the next categories
Next-
are esports, which
Yeah,
we're
Esports,
probably
right? Esports, we're not going to
don't
cover
worry about.
esports.
Nobody cares about esports.
So there's basically esports games were Call of Duty, Counter Strike, Global Offense, Dota 2, League of Legends, or Valorant. Yeah, no one cares. Best
Okay,
esports
so-
athlete. Are they really? I don't. Well, maybe yeah. I don't know.
Just going on to the jury, because we're not going to do
Let's
esports,
let's go straight to the jury.
I
So
kind of understand now
the
why the
US
votes are like that, because it's media outlets
It
and
is, yeah.
stuff
yeah.
like that. It's not the same
Let's have a
as
look through these.
I don't know. It's very weird. This is weird. Like, I'm surprised some of these companies have
There
said.
is- Oh shoot!
I don't understand it. I actually don't understand.
Every country has their own sort of like say in it as well.
Yeah, but I don't understand.
US, yeah, no, it's all
why-
these outlets. There's a lot of these outlets. You think they don't belong here. I mean,
It's
okay,
like-
sure, PC gamer,
Yeah.
yeah, no, of course, yeah, why not? Game ranks, I mean, it's a gaming thing. Just
It's just that they've chosen. Like, I'm just surprised they haven't,
Entertainment Weekly. like-
done more games
I don't get,
that are better.
Edge,
You know.
Eurogamer, Game on Bible, like The Guardian, like Metro for the UK jury. This is your option for the UK Edge,
The
Eurogamer,
Metro.
Gaming Bible, The Guardian, Metro, PC Games.
The only
we've got
one that
What
I
Culture.
value here is What Culture. What Culture are cool,
Yeah.
right? That's the only one.
That's the only ones that I could. Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah.
I don't
It does
understand what they're
continue on, doesn't
thinking.
it? It's from other countries, right? So you've got
You
global.
telling me that the votes are decided by journalists? And
Yeah,
not
yeah.
actual
No.
gamers?
It's not
Yeah.
exactly. That's
Not
why I
real
wanted to.
gamers.
That is why I wanted to go into the jury because I'd already sneak peeked at it, so I was aware of.
That makes a lot of sense now. To be honest,
Well, no
it's a
wonder
very
the lists are
poor.
all shit then.
It's a
This-
poor
pardon my language,
selection of
but-
games.
if they've all been cherry picked by,
Yeah.
these
Game
guys that aren't really gamers.
game reviewers for their respective publishers. Public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah,
know,
it's
we
just.
all know journalists can't play video games. So this explains a
Yeah.
lot why it's so terribly bad, and why I
Yes.
keep cursing.
I am
Yeah.
disappointed in the Game Awards.
Well, yeah. I was never
And-
expecting anything to be
It's
honest.
just
I
like
know.
the Eurovision Game Awards for me. This is like as bad as Eurovision.
Yeah, it's
Expectations. No, there's no point.
I would have.
it's disappointment.
I would have said that US had the money in this one because of they're the only ones that really feature a lot of the gaming industry, which makes sense because it's mostly sort
No
of.
wonder it's so bad.
American.
IGN, GameSpot,
Yeah.
Gamer
Well-
Tag Radio, PC Gamer,
Well-
Wired. Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
I think we can all agree that was a terrible selection,
Oh yeah.
but we're still
100%.
gonna see the winners, I guess. Are we
Yeah,
gonna
well, yeah, we'll
review the winners?
we'll review the winners in the next podcast. Yeah, what's the time?
Okay.
11:15. Well, actually went on a little bit longer than we thought. Well, it
Yeah,
is as we are speaking. It is for us, but obviously, if you're listening to the podcast somewhere else, maybe not. But yeah, I think we can pretty much end it there. I would say. What do you reckon? You got any? Does anyone have anything else they want to talk about before we actually finish
No,
up?
I'm just disappointed.
It is very disappointing. Of course,
I'm
I don't think I
I'm
was out for it.
very angry and very disillusioned at how this can even
Yes, I'm
make it to
also angry.
TV. Never mind even be voted upon. This is delusional. This is borderline psychotic, delusional. We don't know what we're doing. You know, then let's let the world laugh at us sort of
Yeah.
situation. It's you've got to have proper gamers doing this. You can't have, no offense to the journalists and stuff that are paid to do this stuff, but they're not proper gamers. They don't play enough games. They don't have enough experience. They review one game, play it for about 5 or 6 hours, and then they write their review on it. They don't play it properly. Very rarely do they complete anything, because you can tell that when you actually watch their reviews, especially IGN is a big example of we don't know
God.
what we're talking about. You know, so it's just absolutely. Oh, I can't say what I want to say because
Yeah.
without flying into a swearathon. So I'm just gonna say I'm very, very angry, very fed up, and I'll leave it at that.
Yes.
Right.
That was
There we go. So that's the Game
Yeah.
Awards nominations 2021, and it's it will be on December the 9th if you're interested. Add it to your calendar.
Skip.
I'm not sure many
Skip
people
it.
will be, but
Yeah.
Watch the 15-minute highlight on YouTube. Save yourself the trouble. There you
yeah,
go.
like don't put yourself through that. It's going.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Right. So on that
All right.
note, Beth,
Yes.
do you have a joke for us this week?
Oh, all that I forgot about that. Okay, hang on.
Hang on.
You do your thing while I
All
get
right.
my
Okay,
list of
so
jokes up.
this is the last Tuesday for me. So we're going to be changing the podcast to a Saturday for the live viewers, whoever you are out there. We're going to keep it to 9 o'clock, but it will be on the Saturday. So the next time we do the podcast will be Saturday, the 11th of December. That's due to me changing my job. So unfortunately, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for episode 8, but never fear, we are returning. We won't be too far away.
I have my joke.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
What does a bee? Have I said this? No. Okay, good. I haven't. What does a bee use to brush its hair? A honeycomb. Yeah.
Yay.
Woo. Yes.
Well done, Beth. Right. So if you want to catch one of Beth's joke of the weeks, don't forget, just a quick reminder, even though I've just sort of said it, 11th of December the podcast will be back. I will be back streaming again on Friday for my last Friday stream. Again, I'm moving my schedule from Twitch over, so that's me. So yeah, twitch.tv/funnybitsboy, and where you can find all of my gaming stuff as well as this podcast. Podcast is also available on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, and when it's uploaded it'll be on Audible as well. Yeah, that's it. That's me done for this. Freddie, will you be what are you doing? You're just going to be streaming this week?
I've actually got a quick announcement.
Oh, you've got an announcement?
Yeah, I
Announcement.
have. Yeah. We are actually going to be sponsored for the next one. We're going to be sponsored by the same people that sponsor myself, which is Difference Music Studio. They've kindly provided a free intro music for us to use in our next one.
Awesome.
And they're gonna promote us as well. They're gonna tweet us around and spread us around their social circles as endorsing our podcast. So that's as from the next podcast, I'll have the music now all set up and the intro ready to go, so you'll be able to listen to that.
That is so exciting.
So-
That's awesome. Yeah, we made it.
Well done.
First of many, we are looking for sponsorships. # we're open for sponsorships.
Brilliant.
I'm going to be playing the Ruined King on Thursday, and on Saturday I'm going to be starting Metro Exodus. So that's the plan for the week.
Awesome.
And Friday will be games with whoever's online. So I'll be playing. I'll be streaming, and whatever multiplayer games running around. I'll
well,
join
like
in
I
with
said,
that.
that's going to be my last Friday, so I'll probably have to join in at some point.
Yes, you have.
So
And that's
yeah,
me.
Even if it's Halo.
yeah,
Yes.
that was
Halo's-
awesome. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
That
Halo
was
was
very
again.
much.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
So yeah, Beth.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I'm not sure what my schedule is gonna be like this week. So just follow me on Twitter, Tweeter Beth, no, Pizza Beth 1, or just put Pizza Beth, and I'm the purple logo. And just follow me on there and look out for tweets because I always tweet when I go live. So yes.
Brilliant. So yeah, Pizza Beth, twitch.tv/Pizza Beth. Freddy Show's twitch.tv/Freddy Show. So that's it. That's all we've got time for this week. Thank you very much for listening, watching, whatever you're doing. And we will see you again on the 11th of December, or you will see me this Friday, probably with my friends somewhere or doing something.
Somewhere.
What's it? Indy.
Somewhere out there.
Somewhere out there. But that's it. Thanks very much for listening, watching, whatever you did. And we will see you again next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. That's so cool. That was a nice announcement, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. That's brilliant. Nice little surprise.